think we appear to be live. Let me do a quick volume check. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Sounds right, I think, as long as I talk into the mic more. Alright. Sounds right, I think, as long as I talk into the mic more. Alright. Does maybe sound a little quieter than yesterday, but that's alright. We'll chug on. You can let me know if I need to up my volume. I still don't know how to get rid of this, by the way. This stupid warning thing. Maybe if I refresh it. Nope. Whatever. Radio. So, I don't really have a super solid plan tonight, but I do have some ideas on what I want to get done. The first thing I want to try, since it'll probably be easy, is do a sprite for the orcs, just so I can tell them apart. So I need to go to here. I think I did mobs as the file. Yeah, so really I just need to change the head, but since we don't really have an outfit system or anything yet, I'm just going to change the whole sprite for now. But really we'd want to overlay stuff here, so you could mix and match clothing. And as I've said before, the pixel art is probably not going to stay. I'm probably going to change the style. And I guess, I don't know, brown for the clothes or something. Yeah, I guess that's fine for an orc. Because yeah, then I'd want like different hairstyles and stuff, and I just kind of layer the sprites on top of each other to get the clothing to work. Let's do it like this too. And make him look a bit more haphazard. And the humans can look a bit more orderly. There we go. Cool, so that'll do just to get something working. So sprites, create sprites, and we want to map this to, let's see. Hi, have a good stream. I wanted to ask, will there be no more game engine development on TypeScript? No, I do plan to do more. I'm just kind of taking a little break from it at the moment. I was a little bit, if I'm honest, I was a little bit sort of uninspired, or maybe like burnt out a little bit on it. But I do definitely plan to go back and do more on it for sure. So hopefully at some point, this is just kind of the project I've been working on in the background. Did I re-import this? Is that not supposed to be at 32? But yeah, thanks for checking this out. At the moment I'm doing stuff in Unreal. But yeah. Cool, so we got that. So now we need to have, now I probably want to actually define this in the race. The name generators, the races. I understand this is an interesting project. I hope you will succeed. Thank you very much. Have you seen the VODs on this project, or I can give you a quick spiel of what I'm planning here, but you might have already seen what I'm planning. So I guess this will just be USprite. No, what is it? UPaper. I think I need the module. Paper 2D. And I'll probably have to restart the editor. UPaper Sprite. Before I do that, let me refresh the solution, because I think when you add a module like that, you need to actually refresh the solution. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, it'll be something like I don't know, Sprite, I guess. Needs to go there, and we do definitely need an import for this. Have I got this wrong? Use Sprite. What's going on? Why can't I access? Ah, wrong thing. What the heck did I just add that to then? That's fine, we don't need that. There we go. Now if we build, we should be able to get the Paper 2D stuff. Once this builds. Oh, it's actually having a panic about it. Yeah, of course. Hang on. I think I tripped that out by changing it while it was compiling everything. Okay. Building. Why is the build taking so long? What the hell? Oh, I guess it's building the Paper 2D stuff. Come on now, you can do it. While that's doing that, is there any other sprites I might want? Succeeded with warnings. Text. can do that. Blah blah blah. Good. All right. I think it just had to recompile everything, which is why that took a while. But now we should be able to uncomment this and have access to the paper 2D stuff. Come on now. Paper. Oh damn, I edited it while it was doing that again. Why can't I still access this? Hang on. Ah, there's no 2D in the name, that's why. There we go. And we might as well actually soft object that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So now we can define a sprite for the race. So the next thing will be in the NPC, mobile NPC, I think I called it. Yeah, we've got the data of the NPC. Right now it just generates itself, which is not really what I want, but what we would say is something like, in here, once we have our race, default object, I guess, and there's our sprite, and now we need to probably check that that isn't a null pointer, and then if it's not, load it. Okay, and then if we actually got one, then we can set it. And the problem now is that I don't actually have access to the sprite, so I will, I guess, need to move that in C++. Unless this is actually the component, in which case, but I'm sure it would have the name component. What is this? That's just U object. What is the component actually called? Let's just get back into the engine and I'll have a look. Maybe like a sign or something. We'll just do it in the mobs file because I'm lazy. And I'm gonna kind of rush it because, as I said, this is probably not going to be final art. Almost certainly won't be. And then we'll just, we'll just put it on a, on a wall like that. That should be fine. Right, did we build? Yep, we're good. Paper sprite component. That looks like what I need. Because yeah, basically this is defined in Blueprint, which means I can't easily access it. Let's see. Yeah, it is paper sprite component, okay. It's weird that Write is not including these things for me. Paper sprite component, there we go. Okay, and then we need to define that. And now that I think about it, I could actually just forward declare it. And just include it in the CPP. Should make things compile slightly faster. I must have the option to index the plugins or something. Include paper sprite components. Okay, and then we just want to attach that to the root component. I'll still do all the configuration and stuff in Blueprint, but this means now we have access to the body sprite. That means we can set the sprite to that, and I'll clarity name this body sprite, and surely I can make that const. I guess I had two things named sprite. That's the actual sprite. If that's okay, yeah. Wait, did I just call it the same thing as I did? God damn it. Okay. Please tell me that didn't change this. No, okay, we're good. So body sprite, I'll set sprite to this. And it does not want a const one, fair enough. Cool, so now that should update based on the race. Yeah, based on the race. You can see we now have this body sprite thing, so essentially I'll just give it the human by default, I guess. What other changes did I have in here? I will... Okay, so it's just pawn blocking visibility. And it's query only. And what else? Shadows, no nav data, and that's it. Okay, cool. So we can nuke this now. Turn on shadows. Can ever effect navigation off so that it builds nav mesh around the sprite, and we also need to position this. I do like to have my X forward if possible. No, was it front? Have the feet ever so slightly clip into the ground. Should look basically the same in here, except no, wait, we're still not done. If I go to races, the human race will use that sprite. And the orc one, that one. Are you all really human? Or did you not get your sprite set? That looks like an orc. Yeah, so that didn't work. Sprites. Okay. Where would it have failed? I am debugging, so I can check right here. No breakpoint hit this line. Did I not compile this in yet? I not have compiled it in. Nope, you're not right. That was an orc name, I'm pretty sure. What's up with this question marks here? I guess it doesn't have a name. What I really want to see is if it's getting into here. It is, okay. Okay, and then it's setting the sprite. How's it going, Shake? Welcome in. What is the sprite though? Paper sprites. We didn't crash, so it must be, that part of it must be working. They're all still wrong. I don't understand why I can't see what that sprite is. I guess it hasn't loaded yet. So only 2 of them tried to set their class. It's definitely set here. Definitely set here. Okay, when we generate the race, the sprite. I don't think this is loading correctly. In fact, it might not need to load. I might be able to just get it like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. It's mainly the classes I think I need to load. Nope. That breakpoint did not get hit. This is a weird one. Okay. Did get hit this time. Why can't I see the data in this class? I mean, it should be valid, because if I resume all this, and look on here, yeah, it is getting set correctly on all of them. There is something wrong though. Okay, what if I start removing some of these checks and do like that? I do feel like I should maybe load it. I don't know. Oh, 2 of them are gone. Which is actually probably a good thing, because it means it actually tried to do something. Yeah, it set it to nothing, which means that this was nothing, which means the get failed. Okay, so it is something else. So let's try load it again. We'll see if that works now, because it might have been the if check. There we go, that's what it was. Cool. So now you can actually tell which ones are the orcs, which ones are the humans. That is going to be helpful eventually, but is not currently helpful for gameplay whatsoever. Holy crap. Bagom ol Pamong. Bagom ol Pamong. Yeah, they get some pretty intense names sometimes, because the Markov chain sometimes just doesn't end. Okay. That guy's not always an orc, is he? No, okay, good. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is maybe try to actually get a village somewhat generating, potentially. That might be a bit of a big scope for the stream, but I do want to try, because once we have the village working, then we have a reason to talk to these people to get quests, and then we have a reason to go to dungeons, and the whole loop will kind of come together. But we do actually need the villages now. So if you remember correctly, we do have a function to do that. It's just not the smartest thing in the world right now. So if I go here and hit play, and we hit the breakpoint, you see we get this village has a bunch of NPCs and also a bunch of buildings, and inside those buildings is more NPCs and no names. So I think what I want to try is to do an actual layout generator. So this is going to take some planning as well, but yeah, how can I draw on my screen? I guess paint. Yeah, what I'm thinking is we have a village, so there's lots of ways you could go about generating a village layout, but I want to try something where we do, so say this is the area of the town, and we break that up into cells. I don't know why I'm drawing a grid so weirdly right now, but something like that. It would probably be bigger, more cells than that, but I don't know if this is a good way to do this or not, but what I'm thinking is basically imagine each of these squares is essentially a plot, and on a plot we could put a building, like a piece of road or path or something, or something else like a that is supposed to be a tree, like a park or whatever, maybe a palace, and potentially, again, I don't know if this is going to be a good work out well or not, but because I want to try using wave function collapse for stuff. So if we did that, then so it could generate something like this basically, which is maybe not the most fancy village generator in the world, because everything's kind of tied to this grid. Okay, and then maybe it goes down like this. Okay, and then like you have a house here and whatever, basically like that. So the way that, or at least as far as the way I understand a wave function collapse to work would be, yeah, let me do this again. So essentially we, I think, go through all of the cells in the grid, and I believe the terminology is find the one with the highest entropy, which is the cell that has the most possible states it could be in currently. So this cell here could be a house, could be a tree, could be a road, could be whatever else we jam into this system. But it has pretty much all of the possibilities. And so does the next one, so does the next one. Like any cell could be anything. But then say we fill in this cell as a house, and we just do that randomly. Now these cells down here could still be anything, but these cells around this house could have constraints, like this house has to be next to a road, for example. It has to be connected by a road somehow. So that means this we're still in a situation actually where every cell could be anything. So, but if there was a house here, then the only place that you could put a road to connect this one would be right here, which means this one has only one possibility. Basically, it's a road. So instead of picking any of the others, we pick this one and put a road in. And we basically just repeat like that. Find the lowest entropy square. Like it's perfectly reasonable. Like now this has to be, I don't know if it necessarily has to be a road, but it would make sense to put a road there. But like, there could be, how would we do this? I'm trying to think of other examples to clarify this, but I think that's makes sense enough. So this couldn't be a house because it has to be next to a road. So that means this has to be a road. So we come down like this, and then, you know, pretty much just keep randomly doing that. I don't know if that was a good explanation or not, but that's what I'm going to try first for generating a village. If this doesn't work out, then another one I might look at is L systems, which is kind of, it's used for like generating plants a lot, where you have like a stem and it like branches off, and then these branch off, and you know, so on and so forth. Like it's kind of fractal. To generate a road network, and you kind of represent this bottom thing as the main road, then these are like side roads, and then these are side roads of that, and then at the end along the roads you have houses. I think that's how that worked for 2D layout. But yeah, I'm gonna try this, and we'll see if it works or it sucks. So we already have a village generator, which is definitely the name that I would have used for this. But that's for generating the actual data of a village. Maybe it does make sense to be in here still. What I'm going to do actually is make a village actor. Oh no. Okay, let's do village manager or something. I basically just need an actor to represent a village in the world, and a village I'm just using kind of loosely to mean a bunch of houses, roads, people, shops, etc. It might be a city or whatever, but come on, why can't I go to the CPP file? What the hell? We probably don't need tick on this. Get rid of that and that and that, and now we're left with a blank class, which I probably will make abstract and blueprintable. This is all off the cuff, by the way, so it's a little, this whole project is experimental, but you're getting to see my thought process kind of as it happens. So yeah, I'm kind of jumping around ideas quite a bit. Let me see, do I have any gums? Nice. So essentially what we want to do is take in, we want to have a function to generate like construct layout, maybe something like that, and that will take in, I suppose, a uVillage, although we could clean this up further by only taking in a like a village layout class or something like that. Whatever, just call it village. And that way I could define like certain villages could generate using different sort of algorithms or different rules. It's fine, I guess I'll give it a category. And you'll notice I do expose quite a bit of stuff to Blueprint, either though I'm not writing any Blueprint code, and that is kind of a habit, but also just in case they ever do any kind of mod support or anything. The modding API will be in Blueprint, so. Yeah, so when we construct the layout, basically what we need to do now is we know how many houses we have. And that is village.buildings.num. Okay. What are you panicking about? Need to know what a building is, I assume. No, it's inaccessible. Okay. 2, and then we do blueprint pure on this one, which is just makes the node appear slightly different in the editor. And then all we need to do is here is return buildings.num. Maybe I could do if the buildings is a null pointer. No, you can't do that on an array. Okay. Well, it should be fine then. Okay, so now we've got get buildings count. Okay, so now we know how many buildings there are. So that's in this grid how many total buildings we want to place. Num buildings remaining. And now for the grid size, it depends on the density I want to use. So I need to estimate this somehow. I'm thinking maybe like half the building count squared or something. So that would be, for 10 buildings, it would be you know, 25 to be like a 5x5, which would mean we'd have a fill ratio of 10 out of 25. So then yeah, like just under half the spots of buildings. I don't know, I suppose that feels right. So let's say constant town size is going to be, I should use the same terminology actually, village size is the num buildings remaining over 2 and then I think we have math if, I don't know, was it if math and Unreal? Square. And if math dot round, I suppose? No. Seal. Seal to int. So that'll make sure it'll go up to an int. What is the problem here? Yeah, I just didn't like that integer division. Yeah, so say if it was like 9, it would be like 4.5 divided by 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5. Squared? What is? Maybe I want that seal in the middle, 4.5. So that would seal it, so it'd be 21. Wait, what? 20 across? What is going on here? Oh, yeah, my thing was wrong here. So 25. Set the side length to half of the building count is what I'm trying to do here. Jeepers creepers. Sorry. So don't square it. That happens in the array. So seal it. So with this, so if we had 9 buildings, we'd do a 5x5. If we had 10 buildings, we'd also do a 5x5. If we had like 7, it would be like 7 divided by 2. Seal it for 4x4 grid with 7 buildings in it. Holy crap, you can tell it's been a rough week. Okay, cool, so we've got that. And I don't love that that actually uses the font, that variable like that, because this is meant to be a live variable that we tick down. So let's see. We're gonna need an array of tiles, which will be the village tiles, I guess. So I guess I need to make actors for those. Maybe. Abstract, blueprintable. These definitely don't need to tick. So this is going to be basically an actor, I think, that represents the thing that's in this cell. So we have an actor for each of these things. It may not be the best idea ever because I could instance a lot of the stuff. But I could run a post pass after generating this stuff to like clean it up and convert all of this into one actor, for example. But yeah, should be fine for now, at least for the generation step. So we have a bunch of village tiles. And those tiles need rules. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just thinking through how this is all going to work in my head. So in village tile, if we have a function which we can implement called like can place or like is valid placement. And it's going to need to know the tiles that are surrounding it, which means ideally it would know about the whole layout, but I can't easily do that. So let's just do the ones that are around it. So I'll just do it as an array. Okay, and this can be virtual for sure. Cool. I think I do still need an implementation, don't I? Even though it's virtual, I kind of wish I didn't have to do that, but okay. So now in the village manager, I think what we can do is we essentially need an array of actually it's important that this is const because I'm going to call it on the default object, so I definitely don't want it modifying anything. Wait, what did I just do there? Oops. And I also want to const these probably, because I definitely don't want to modify anything, I just want to check stuff. So this will be the layout, I guess. Array of village tiles, and we'll just set the layout to village size squared. I'm contemplating converting a layout to its own class at the moment. That probably would make this a lot easier, but we'll see. Okay, so now we're set up and ready to go. So we basically just need to fill this layout out. And to do that, we are going to need some tiles available here. So I guess I'll do it here. And this is where the layout thing would be nice, because I could swap the layout that a village manager uses to generate its village to construct it, but I'll just hard code it, I guess. So this will be a T array of T I guess just subclass of, who cares. A village tile. Make it read only, edit defaults only, and put it in the village manager thing. So it's going to basically build it from these tiles. Okay. So now what we need to do we need to kind of kick this off by putting something in, but here I'll comment in the steps. So find tile with lowest entropy collapse, tile state, collapse, tile state. That's basically it, actually. Which is why it's called wave function collapse. So find the tile with the lowest entropy, which is basically go through this array and see which spot has the most possible things it could be right now. The least can, wait a second, no, it's the opposite. Yeah, lowest entropy is the thing with the least possible things it could be right now. The most restricted tile. Okay, and this whole thing basically runs while the layout is not complete. Which I can just track by saying, what's an easy way to track that? Num tiles placed. Is less than, so we should place this many tiles. While that runs, we need to do these two things, and then we're basically good after that. It's a pretty simple algorithm. Okay, so to find the tile with the lowest entropy, we basically need to loop over every tile in the layout, and we need to see how many options that tile has. So for okay, so now we need to go through what all our options are. Hopefully this is making some sense, by the way. What's the problem? Subclass. There you go. Okay, because we're going to use the default object. Okay, so go through all the options, and then we need to just say option dot get default object, obviously dot is valid placement, and it wants the neighboring tiles. So god damn it. Okay, I need another helper function. So this will be a get get the neighbors okay for, and I'll need index, and I'll need, I guess, the whole array. Which is kind of why it would be easier if I did this in its own class. But if I do it like this, I think it won't copy the memory, hopefully. Okay. Okay, and then at the end we'll return the neighbors. Okay, and I'll be happy with that. So now we would essentially check the things that are up, down, left, and right from it, and to do that we need an X and a Y. So the X is going to be index divided by, oh god damn it, now I need the size as well. I believe there is a refactor that can automatically do this for both. Change, so Alt R? No, that's something else. Yeah, doesn't matter. So index divided by the village size. No. Modulo. And the Y will be index divided by the village size, obviously rounded down. So now we can check. That's the X and Y of this tile. So the tile we actually want to check is if X times width plus Y. So it'd be, this is, so the one to the right is going to be, no, we'll do the one above first. That will be Y minus, so X times, holy shit, village size divided by the Y, but it's going to be, holy frick, layout dot is valid index blah. Okay, you know what, let's just make this awfully verbose because I am confusing myself. We'll do that 4 times. Below and to the left and to the right, and it's not going to really take into account corners. It probably should do that at some point, but it won't right now. So above will be +1 to the Y, -1 to the Y. Left will be -1 to the X, and +1 X +1. There we go. Yep, that looks right. So then we can go first check the above. If the above is valid, then we can go neighbors dot add layout at above, and we just do that for each of them. So do below, left, right. Obviously you can spot that I could probably make this a function too, but it's fine like this, I think. It wants me to capitalize all this, does it? And obviously, I guess all of these can be const. Okay. Whew, we're getting deep. This whole function can be made const. Did I not already make that const? No. Okay, cool. And this can be made const. And this. Everything const. It's not going to do anything to the... So const is like it won't change any like variables in the class, basically. It won't change anything, it'll just calculate something based on the data, which in this case is the neighbors. And that's what this wants, I believe. The neighboring tiles. So I can go get neighbors for oh shit, we need the index. So, and I did it as an iterator, so I have to refactor this slightly to be layout.num. Okay, and then this is going to be equal to layout at I, and now we have I as the index, and we have the layout and the size. Yeah, before it gets squared, so the edge length. And now we just smash this into here, and that will tell us you know what, that's just an if. If this is a valid option, then we'll probably add it to some array or something. What is your problem? No, I'm good. Yeah, okay, cool. So, this is pretty intense algorithm. Well, it's actually pretty simple, but I think the way I'm explaining it just makes it sound really complicated. But this options thing, we now actually want to be a T-array of T subclass of village tiles. Because this is basically, we have these total options that we could put as a tile in one of these spots in here. Could be a house, could be a road, could be a forest. And then after it runs through all this, it's going to check each one of them and say, hey, are you allowed to, is like, say it's this spot, like right here, it's like, hey, am I allowed to be a house? And then if it is, it adds it to a list. And if it's, and then it's like, am I allowed to be a road? Yep, I'll add that to the list. Am I allowed to be a forest? Yep, I'll add that to the list. And that's what it returns. So that I know not only how many options this tile has left, which is the entropy, but also once I pick a tile to collapse, I just pick one of these options randomly. I feel like I'm making this sound way more complicated than it is. Google or YouTube wave function collapse, someone will explain it way better than me. Anyway. Hello, Banana Balls, welcome in. Nice to see you. I just had a big rant about Some nerd shit. Okay, so if it's valid placement, then we just want to add it as an option. And then once we've checked all of the options for this tile, we need to keep track of which one has the lowest entropy. Yeah. So, this is getting kind of nasty if I'm honest, but let's do another function, another helper function, and this will be to get the options, basically that code we just wrote, because I'm going to need this twice until I refactor it. Get options at a certain index. Let's just start with that and I'll add the parameters as I need them. That will be const. And that I just slap basically this whole thing. No. This whole thing down here. Okay, we need the index, which is this. We need, yeah, the layer and the village size, right? Okay. How's the audio sounding? Is it not too bad? I think my keyboard's quite loud, but I can't do much about that because my mic is right here and sits right above my keyboard. I can probably switch to a different keyboard though. In fact, I do have a different keyboard on the way. Get options at, there we go, and everything is just happy for that to be the case. Okay, cool. So then we const this stuff, and yeah, so now we have the options. What we need to do is when we're finding the one with the lowest entropy, we need to go, remember highest entropy is least amount of options, so least options, and that obviously needs to be a really big number. I can actually just set that to tiles.num, maybe +1. To make sure it's out of bounds, like every tile will have less options than that. And then I want to keep track of the actual tile with least options for now is null pointer. Okay, and I also realize that this could be null. Keyboard's a little loud, yeah, I wish I could, yeah, it's really hard because my mic's right above it. Yeah, so I need to account for the fact that this could be null when I go and do my get number of options thing. In fact, rather than saying that, let's just, if that is valid, then do something, otherwise do something else. What we're going to do is get the num options, which is get options at layout and village size. And that's an array, remember, so we need to actually get the number of that. So this is what I was meaning before about the refactor. I'm actually going to calculate this twice. Once for every tile and then once at the end to check how many tiles it is, because I don't actually have a way to save this yet. Like there's no, like this should probably, where is it? This should probably be a struct. or its own class where it keeps track of the tile, but also metadata about that tile. Oh yeah, whatever. Number of options, so we've got the number of options. If that is less than the tile with the least options, then the new least options is however many options we have here, and then tile with least options is layout tile. And this actually can be null, so this needs to be an index. Okay. So yeah, it needs to just be the actual index, which is I. Okay, and then if the tile we're looking at is not valid, then the number of options is actually just going to be the number we have defined in the village in general. So remember, that's this one here. And then we just kind of do that same thing. So what I could probably do is pull this out here and move this up here. Okay, and then like this. And now that gets reassigned in every code path, so I can do that check once out here. Cool. So here we go. So now this is the code which will find the tile with the least number of options, which is actually lowest or highest entropy. Whatever. It's the one we need to collapse. So now we've figured that out, we actually need to collapse it. And to do that, all we have to do is tile with least options from here. Oh, actually, we need to spawn the thing first. So yeah, we need not the neighbors. Come on, we got this. Get options at the index, which is going to be the one that we found that has the least possible things it could be right now, and pass it the layout and the village size. Okay. And now we just need to pick a random one of these. So range between 0 and options dot num minus 1. Now we need to actually spawn that. So I think it's get world dot spawn actor. Yeah, we don't really need the deferred one right now, but the class will be this. Okay, and we need a location rotation, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So for this, we're actually going to need a grid size. I guess I'll just define that in here, but that's going to need to be the size that all these tiles adhere to in world units. So, hang on, if I go back to my paint thing, it's going to be the size in like meters of one of these sides of a cell. So it knows, like, if I'm putting something at the third column in this grid here, then we look at the size of one of these sides and times it by 3. So 1, 2, not 3, 2, because it's the second, and the third element is the second index. So that would put it at right here on the X, and then the same on the Y. If it was 3, which is element 2, we'd get this length twice, which will put it to this Y height, and then if you join these two up, we get this spot right here, which if I'm build my tiles right will always come out like that. If that makes sense. It'll align it to the grid. So I need a equipped function to do that. I pretty much just need to do this, except the index is this, and now we just do f vector x times times the grid size and y times the grid size, and get actor location dots. See, should be fine. Do I need to do all of these though? Can I not just do a position? Or does it need to know the class type? No. What's it having a whinge about? Location, rotation, spawn parameters, no. Class, spawn parameters, no. Class, transform, no. Class, location, rotation. Okay, so I have to specify rotation basically. If rotator 0 rotator, I guess. Actually, no, I don't want to do that because that's world aligned. I want it to do get actor rotation, because remember this whole thing we're generating in right now, this village manager thing, is an actor itself, so it has a position in the world. What do you want me to initialize? Grid size. 10 meters. There's a way, yeah, you can do dashes, huh? Didn't know that. No, it's a minus. Okay. I thought there was a way you could do like a number separator that wouldn't, like, it would still treat it as a number, but I can't remember how to do it. Anyway, this is in centimeters. Unreal measures things in centimeters for some reason, so you just take off those last 2 zeros and it's going to be 10 meters. Cool. So now we spawn that actor. We probably should keep track of it, I guess. Maybe we just add it to an array for now. And probably uProperty it so that we don't get garbage collected on. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we go spawn tiles dot add cast spawn tile. There you go. And yeah, that's pretty much the function. There are a few things we haven't covered yet, which is the case where we've picked a tile where there are actually no options. Oh, also, before I forget, this loop will be infinite unless I actually increment this. And now that I have actually got that array, I can get rid of this and go like that. It's keeping track of the same number. Yeah, so if we have no options, this will actually crash right here because it's going to get index 0 out of, well, it's going to try and get a random number between the range of 0 and -1, which I believe comes back as 0. And then this array has nothing in it, so it just crashes. So in that case, we don't want to choose a tile or spawn a tile, but then I still want that tile spot to be filled, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously we can't put anything there, so we should not keep trying to do it. But anyway, let's just we'll just wait for it to actually crash and be a problem before I fix that. I'm sure I've made a mistake in here somewhere too, but in theory this is a wave function collapse algorithm for generating a village. So I guess we'll try it out. So if I set the constraint of the roads to be, it has to be next to another road. That's not going to work because there will never be a road. Anyway, I guess I'll make a village folder. Village manager. And obviously I want ideally to have customizable themes and stuff for these villages, but yeah, we don't have that yet. So I'll just make, I guess, a new level. You know what? Let's actually just go back to the test map. And I'll just duplicate this whole thing and call it village. And now pretty much delete everything. All these guys can go away, all of this crap can go. Ooh, except the floor. And then doors. The sky and the lights. And somewhere in the sky, I believe there's, oh, somewhere there's a village generator, I think. I mean a dungeon generator? Yeah. Cool. So now if I play empty, very good. So what I want to do is put my village manager in here, because basically when you go to a village instance, this is going to be the village instance. So we just keep reusing this same map, we generate different stuff in it. So I think the only thing we really need to set is the tiles. So we're going to need one for building, one for road. I don't know, one for park or something. So let's go village tile. Road. Park and house. And obviously we could have heaps of other stuff here, like different shops and like a church and I don't know, a well, all sorts. But we just want to try it with a couple of things first. So if I do this, let's quickly get a little bit of basic art going for this. So at least for, let's see. a tree or something. Again, I'm just going to do this in the mobs file. Let's just quickly do a horrible looking tree so I can tell what's a park and what's not. Okay, and then where is the let's forget where the freaking not polygon, not contour. No. There's a shade tool somewhere. Is that gone? Well, whatever. I guess I can just do this. This really doesn't matter, so I shouldn't actually really be spending any time on it, but whatever. That will be fine, probably. I just can't help myself but do a tiny little bit of shading. Okay, and then we'll slap a quick outline on that. Or maybe we just want to not do outlines. I don't know. It's a tree. Well, it's supposed to be. No. Alt O? No. Control O? No. Shift O? There we go. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, get that aligned more or less. Okay, so that will help for this part of it. The house and road part, is going to be a little tougher because I need to actually 3D model some stuff for that. So, and I suppose it's getting kind of late. Let's just do the park, and the rest I'll just put like a cube or something in the middle for now. Reimports, create sprites, and just like that. This, no, where are we? Yeah, this guy. What's the key for edit? Wait, what? Why can I not edit this? Okay, well, can just do it like this. There we go, bottom center. And that should be this. Okay. So now we have some tiny trees. 0.16. Shouldn't that have gotten bigger? Yeah, there we go. And obviously they need to rotate towards the player and stuff. But yeah, there's like a Daggerfall-ish tree, I guess. So inside the village, the park, let's put actually a cube or something so I can see the bounds of it. And that cube, is that a 1 meter cube? Yeah. So we said 10 meters, so if I do 10 and 10 and then shift this so it aligns in the X and Y axis, I guess. And can I just find some sort of, yeah, let me make some test materials. Wait, what is this material? Go. So that can be for the forest, what do I call it, park, whatever, house. This will represent where a house should be. And what was the third thing? The roads? Which most likely won't actually have much on them, but I'll do those as like kind of a white. You know what, let's do it as black, like a dark. There we go. Okay, so these will help us see which tile actually gets generated. So let's copy paste that into the other tiles. So we've got house. Okay, and then road. And yeah, obviously we'd replace this with the actual kind of art of this stuff eventually. This is more just to get the actual generator working. Okay, and now each of these actually will have a function we need to define called Did I not expose it? Village tile. Is it gonna complain about being... It doesn't want me to do that. Cool. Should not be virtual, right? Yeah, so it is going to complain about that, which means I need to split out the two functions if I want to have C++ and Blueprint support for them. Or actually, no, I could use a native function for that, I suppose. Why don't I do that? Blueprints. What is it called? Blueprint native event, yeah, there we go. So now it actually does want me to implement it. Oh, it's got, that's right, it's got like some weird implementation post-fix, yeah, for the C++ version, to get around that whole virtual issue I just mentioned. I did just spot we had, why did it not compile? Oh, because of the stuff I was fiddling around with, I think. No? Village, gen, village tile, 37. Do not have at this point, wait, what? Hang on, let me close Unreal. And debug it through here. The hell is it talking about? Doesn't like the const? Ah, shit, now I have to... I think it doesn't like the const? Otherwise it might not like this. Just for exposing the blueprint. Yeah, it might be having trouble exposing a const function to blueprint, no. What is the problem here though? Bool... Overloaded member function not found. It doesn't need one though. Hang on, let me take this off for a second. And then we'll nuke this temporarily. That stuff back and now compile it. I'm not sure, sometimes it can be hard to tell whether it's just like got a badly cached version of the file or it's an actual error. I just want to make sure. No, it is an actual error, okay. So that makes me think it's the thing here then. It doesn't like that being const for blueprint, which actually possibly does make sense. Because no, it's not that. Yeah, this is what about if we do a blueprint implementable event then? Does it have the same problem? Come on. Otherwise, we could just do that. I don't see why it's having trouble with that though. I'll probably see it when I watch this back. No, wait. There's still a problem. Okay, so what's going on here? Could it be that I'm using the same type that it is? Possibly. Like, it can't really compile it because it tries to compile this, then gets to here and is like, hey, I need to compile this, then goes back to the top. If that is the problem, I wish it would just say that. No. That's not the problem. Alright, time to Google, I guess. I think it wants a const reference here by the sounds of what other people are having. It sounds like the generated code, the Unreal header tool that runs over this stuff actually changes the generated code to const reference. So it's not actually matching technically. Yeah, it is that, okay. I didn't know that. So if we do it like this, yeah, you see how that definition is different than this. Whatever, I guess. Now I know. Alright, I just want to see this try to generate, and then I'm going to leave it there for the night because it is getting on for me. I need to figure out what constraints to use here too, because the whole idea of wave function collapse is some tiles have to be next to others. So I could say like a park's not allowed to be next to a house, for example, or whatever. But I think the one I actually want to try first and see what happens is it has to be next to a house, has to be next to a road. Which is kind of not, I don't like that I have to hard reference it like this. Wait, versatile house. Ooh, did they? Yeah, okay, I can't check that exactly. Well, not like that anyway, because you can't sidecast like that, so if it is next to a road, then we return true, otherwise return false. And you will notice I am actually doing a little bit of blueprint now. I said I wasn't going to do any, but since stuff like this I want to be available for modding, I kind of need to do some blueprint, but I'm going to try and avoid it. Okay, so that should be good. Now in our tile manager we have the three things. We just kind of head back to the village and see what happens. Probably a crash. Nothing. And that is because I never actually construct the village, so construct the layout, and I need to obviously generate a village first and then construct it. Alright, we have crashed. What is the deal here? What's the problem? Get divide by 0. Oh, this function's actually wrong anyway. It's not meant to be divide by, it's meant to be plus. Did I make that mistake anywhere else? No, we're good. X times width plus y. Yeah, I hope this method works out, otherwise we will have to abandon it and switch to a more advanced village generation technique, but I'm hoping this works at least well enough to get sort of the game sort of up and running and I can upgrade it later. I literally just need buildings laid out semi-smartly with people and shops and stuff. Okay, we still crash. What is it this time? Because there were no options. Okay, so this is the problem I was talking about. Okay, what happened with the layout then? So that will basically punch in a pass in a bunch of nulls. Ew. I think it's because no tile is allowed to generate, because I return false by default. Do I? Yes. I should say you are allowed to generate unless specified otherwise. So basically the roads aren't allowed to generate. The houses, what's going on here? Oh, we're gonna crash, aren't we? Fuck. Alright. That's right. The roads aren't allowed to generate because we return false. Neither are the bushes or forests or whatever the fuck. And then the houses are only allowed to generate if they're next to roads, but since roads never generate, basically it never is able to generate anything at all. But that should be fixed now. So yeah, if you don't implement the function, it'll just say, yep, that's valid no matter what. Alright, no crashes, please. Okay, not really what I had in mind. Nothing actually got positioned correctly. But it is generating a mix of different things. Why is stuff not getting positioned correctly though? Thousands. That would imply that these x's and y's are 0 for everything. Oh wait, we still check tiles that are filled. We want to not do that. Don't we? Don't we want it like this? So if there is already a tile in the spot, just whatever. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's it. Although I'm starting to slow down a bit. I don't know if I'm gonna. Hopefully, there's not too many other curveballs thrown my way because I don't know if I'm have the brain power to solve this tonight. Okay, but hopefully it was that. Shoot. Okay, so. Okay, let's start putting in some breakpoints then. So, I guess right here. So the first tile it tries to spawn is at 0, 0. Fair enough. The next one. Why is this 0 again? Oh, we never update the layout, do we? That's what's going on. Okay. Get me off all these breakpoints. Okay. We never update the layout, so it never actually... It gets more spawn tiles, but it doesn't actually know that anything has been put in there, so... this one is going to be equal to this. You know what, let's just put the cast up here. This is a pretty gnarly line of code, but then spawn tile, then I don't have to do another line. Spawn tile, or come up with another variable name, I mean. Okay, so now we actually update the layout, so it's gonna hopefully like do something. This is weird because I got confused and wrote this wrong. I'll need to rewrite that. Hopefully that's all the problems shaken out of this now. Okay, so we're in a grid. Remember, these are houses, and the only rule currently is that houses have to be next to roads. Which they are in all cases. The road layouts don't make a huge amount of sense. So we need a constraint for that. We need to say like... I guess it should be like, hey, a road should be connected to a road. Also. Right? But the problem is then how do we get the first road in the system. Because if there's no roads for anything to connect to, it's never going to put one down. And I guess I just need to force one to spawn. So the first thing in a village will always be a road, so it's got something to kind of work off, I suppose. We could actually change that in the future to be like the village square or like center, and always put that in the middle and say roads are allowed to be next to other roads or the village square, and that way it'll kind of generate out from the middle, which is probably a good thing. So when we construct the layout, I think the first thing I'll do then is right in here. Oh god, this is getting gross, man. T array of T subclass of. I guess another way I could solve this. Another way I could solve this actually is by telling the validity function not just about the neighbors but about the whole layout. And that will mean, hopefully, that the layout will come through here. And I can just check, like, I can do something cheeky to get away with it, basically. I can just check the first element is empty. Uh-oh. We crash, we crash. And then we should get a reasonably, hopefully sensible road network. The only other thing I might want to do is make it so that road, like, how would I do this? I just don't want kind of like big kind of rectangles of roads. Hey Skull, I am from New Zealand. Well, that's where I am right now, but I'm also from here. And it is, yeah, what is it, 10 PM right now. So it is pretty dark. Where are you from? Okay, so is this just gonna crash every time? No, so I can now do hopefully a cheeky thing where, and this is not really how I want it to be, but if the first thing in the layout hasn't is not valid, then I'm just gonna say, yeah, you're allowed to put a road here. Otherwise, if we've already put a road somewhere, then the rules apply. So that okay. All right. Okay. Why is it almost always green though? 10 PM, wow, it's like 10 hours difference. May sound weird, but I was asking because at me is day at the moment, 12 PM. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it is dark outside. 12 PM, nice. 10 hours different, where would that be? Germany? The States? Okay, clearly this is not the way. I wonder what the constraint should be then. because if this was just everything's accessible. Right now at Skull we're working on a village layout generator for a little sort of experimental project I'm working on. And we're trying to use wave function collapse to generate it. So these dark ones are roads, these ones are parks, and these are houses. Well, they're not. It's what they represent. I haven't made the art for it yet. Yeah, and the whole, or everything we kind of have so far is there's like a little dialogue system with these guys. They can tell you stuff, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. There's a lot of systems behind the scenes going on right now, but there's no actual gameplay just yet. But there's like skills and interaction and procedural dungeon generation and whatnot. I'm just trying to get the villages, trying to come up with a good way to generate procedural villages basically. So we're trying wave function collapse, and so far it's not fantastic. I just need to figure out what a good way of telling it, like what the rules should be to put these pieces together. Right now, a house says one of its neighbors must be a road. A road pretty much has no constraints. I was trying to do, it has to be, one of its neighbors has to be a road. And surprisingly, that pretty much always generates I mean, that one makes sense because the road got just completely blocked by houses. But in this case, this one, I guess it could have been a house, woods, or road, and because it's random, we just got unlucky. So I guess the odds are weighted against it. Alright, well, it is getting late for me, but so I'm probably going to leave the stream there, but I'll have a think overnight, see if I can come up with some good like constraints for this stuff. Like I just need a rule to say, hey, to spawn a road you have to be, I don't know, next to this thing, next to another road, or you know, I just need to figure out what the rules are going to be. Otherwise this wave function collapse method is not going to work. Like if I just say everything is true all the time, you can see like what completely random would look like, and it's just going to be nonsensical. It's not going to like be a coherent village at all. Yeah, so you got a weird street up here, a bunch of houses with no access. Yeah. There does need to be some roads. I guess if I had to, this could work as at least, you know, something to work from. And actually the 10 meter looks alright. So this is like a path, that's a park over there, building. Yeah, this will, I think, work pretty well. So you have like, you know, a bunch of trees and stuff on here. That looks like the wrong shader to me as well. Oh, damn. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Oh, you have like dialogue with people by AI generated. It's yeah, technically AI, but it's not probably what you're thinking. It's not ChatGPT or like a language model or anything like that. It's a system. I can show you some of the code real quick before I head off. So how do I start explaining this? Basically, 2D sprites or 3D is this the prototype. I am going to do a mix of 2D and 3D, kind of like this, but I'm probably not going to use pixel art. I'm going to hand draw it. This is just like, so the actual sprite's a placeholder, but I do want to do I do want to use sprites like this. So a mix of 2D and 3D. Yeah, I guess 2.5D. Yeah, so the thing is basically NPCs have a bunch of knowledge, a knowledge base, which has a bunch of claims, and those claims are basically things that they know about themselves. So like, they know, for example, that their name is whatever, they know what their race is, they know what their gender is, but it could be they know about some dragon off in the woods, or some quest, or some faction, or something. And you pretty much can query them from keywords. It's kind of like a database, if you've ever done much with databases. But yeah. Welcome in Adventure Fox, by the way. Yeah, it's kind of like a query system, essentially. So when I was saying, like, what is your name, I could also just put in the search term. Kind of like a Google search, I guess. And the reason I did that is because there's two goals I have with this project, which is super, probably weird and might not be fun and experimental, but one is I want, obviously, to procedurally generate most things. So I don't really want to have a bunch of hard-coded like responses. So like right now I have no idea what to say to this guy, like, because I don't have a quest or anything. Whereas in a lot of other games it'll like prompt you with what to say. The other thing is I'm not going to actually have, hopefully, a quest log or a map. I want, and I do understand how crazy this sounds, but I kind of want to experiment with the idea of the player having to have like a notebook or something beside them and kind of build their own story and keep track of their own sort of maps, or, you know, like say they're in a dungeon, they come across a note or a book that has a certain like dragon's name in it or something, or a faction's name. They could write that down and then come back to town and start asking people about it, you know, because then they've actually got the search term to look for. And the way I'm going to generate this knowledge is by essentially simulating, hopefully, 100 or so years of this world before the player joins. Sort of like Dwarf Fortress. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, and I don't really like saying it out loud because it is so crazy, but something I've wanted to try for a long time. So yeah, that's kind of what this little thing I've got going on is. But I am gonna end the stream there, unfortunately, because it's getting late for me. I'll probably stream again tomorrow, we'll see. Yeah, feel free, this will be recorded if you're interested and want to see the VOD. There's also the previous 2 days I explained more about the project, but yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to subscribe if you want to catch me in my next stream, and have a good day, I guess. You said it was 12 PM, right? Yeah, have a good day.